John Colo at DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and what we're going to do today is compare two juicers in one of my famous juice off comparison reviews. So today's episode, we're going to compare the all-new Hurom HP juicer. This is their newest juicer for 2016 against the Omega VSJ843. Omega brought this unit out back in 2014, and it's been a strong seller, and based on my testing creates the highest yield, least pulp of the juice, and with the minimal amount of clogging and backup of any vertical slow juicer I've tested. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk a little bit more about Hurom. You know, originally when Hurom came into the market, I think around 2014, discount juicers sold the Hurom products. You know, we sold them for a period of time, and then later we stopped selling them. And we would like to continue to sell the Hurom products, but Hurom continues, or you know, has a different approach in mind. They don't want to necessarily go through small independent retailers. They just want to sell their juicers through big box stores and mega stores, and maybe even only direct these days. So that's kind of interesting. But you know, that aside, you know, moving back to 2016, just earlier this year, I got an email on February 15th, 2016 that told me that Hurom does not have active distribution in the USA and their USA office is not being staffed. Alright, so they started bringing juicers in 2014, and in 2016 they had no active distribution and their US office was not staffed. This may be the reason why I got many irate customers with Hurom juicers that had problems with their machine. Parts breakage, they need to get a new screen, and they're yelling at me and belligerent at me asking me can they get a screen for their Hurom juicer, and I'm like, I don't know where Hurom went. So that was in February 2016. Now, just 1 month later, March 2016, every year I attend the largest trade show in the industry for juicers and other home products here in the United States of America. This allows me to keep abreast of all the latest products, juicers, and things in the pipeline. They're going to be coming out in the upcoming year, and you know, I make videos to share them with you guys, and this is so that I could know what's coming on and online and coming out, so that I could, you know, recommend to you guys if you guys should wait maybe for a new model coming out, or if you guys should just get one of the machines that are already out, right? And I see all the major manufacturers there. Omega was there, Liquip was there, Tribest was there, you know, all the major Kuvings was there, all the major companies that have the high-end juicers are there, as well as many of the knockoff companies from China trying to sell their knockoff machines. And I get to see them all, so I kind of have a really good pulse on what's going on in the industry. So to my amazement, in 2016, Hurom did not have a booth there. They have booths every single year until now, 2016. So in February, they didn't have active distribution, and their US office was not staffed. And the next month, they had no, you know, booth at the trade show. So I'm thinking, man, oh my God, like Hurom, where'd they go? Like, I felt bad for all the people that bought Hurom juicers. Like, now they can't get any support, any service, or anything like this because they're not in the USA, and they're not even at the trade show. And if you think they're going to even be doing business in the USA, they would at least have a small 10x10 booth. I mean, normally they have a gigantic booth, probably costs them lots of money. But they didn't have a small booth even just to say, hey, we're still around, we're still alive. They weren't even there, right? So fast forward a couple months, you know, July now is out, and now, you know, I guess their office in Southern California is being staffed. So if you need parts, call them. Hopefully they stock parts for their old machines. I kind of wonder if they do that. A lot of the warranties on their old machines by this time have run out. So that's kind of sad. But yeah, now they have new machines coming out. So this is their low-end machine that is available. It's about $100 less actually than the Omega VSJ843. And so we want to see actually how it compares to the Omega VSJ843. Alright, so aside from, you know, Hurom maybe having some shaky business in the USA, maybe not going to be here, maybe going to be here. I don't really know what's going on with them. They've never really had good, strong distribution in the USA. And that's a negative, of course, for the Hurom company. And they need to overcome this and really let customers know that they're here to stay if they are going to, in fact, stay in the US and compete in this market, or if they're just trying to dump juicers here and then they're going to disappear again. I have no idea. So that's the kind of Hurom with, like, when you buy a juicer, you know, it's like being married to your wife. You're kind of stuck with her family, right? And when you buy a juicer, you're kind of stuck with the manufacturer, you know, that's selling the machine in the USA if you want to get service, if you don't want to just throw away your several $100 juicer if you can't get parts in just a few short years, right? So let's go ahead and flip-flop now to Omega. Much different story with Omega, right? Omega has been founded in the USA, I don't know, I think 30 or even maybe a few more, 30 or more years ago now at this point, and they've been solid in the United States. They're a US-based company, and I like Omega a lot. I've had a relationship with them for over 20 years now at this point, I believe. But Omega, you know, is solid, and that's a little bit different than Hurom. Maybe not going to be here, not going to be here now. So Hurom, on the other hand, originally had a branch in the USA. Then I believe they closed that down. Then they got US distribution by another company, which they had a relationship with. So then I figured they figured they didn't need a branch in the USA if somebody's doing it for them and doing all the warranty support. But then the relationship with that company ended, and then Hurom now has a branch in the USA again, and who knows what's going to happen in the future. Meanwhile, Omega has been solid. Same office in Pennsylvania. It's like a converted house. They need to get a bigger space. That's just their not even their headquarters now, though. But it's a branch there in Pennsylvania, in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, that I visited, and you know they're still there after 30 years. So they're a solid U.S.-owned company. Now the Omega VSJ, on the other hand, is actually made in Korea, and here's a thing. Some people may not want me to tell you this, but the Omega VSJ is actually made for Omega by Hurom. Yes. Wow. But so here's the thing. If you buy a Hurom juicer, it's made by Hurom, but then you buy it in the USA, it's also supported by Hurom, or lack of, if they're not going to be around, and I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Meanwhile, Omega, you know, they deal with Hurom, but they back their machine in the USA if you should buy an Omega machine. So that's the difference, right? Now here's the next difference. This is a huge difference in my opinion, all right? So the Hurom HP juicer has a 10-year warranty. And you're like, John, that sounds great. All right, so the 10-year warranty is only on the motor base. And the motor base, in my opinion, and based on my experience, is the thing that is least likely to fail on a juicer, right? That being said, the rest of the machine has only a 2-year warranty. That's quite short for a juicer, right? Meanwhile, the Omega, it has a 15-year warranty on the motor base, right? That's really long. That's 5 years longer than the Hurom. But then let's go ahead and put this top back on. And on the top part, and the whole machine actually, it's a 15-year warranty on the Omega. So that's like, what is it, 13 extra years warranty on the Omega backed by a US company. Now the machine, the price difference right now is about $100. This may change in the future, may get bigger, may get smaller. I don't know how the pricing is going to change, but at the time this video is being shot, the price difference is $100. And I know when you guys go to buy a TV, a refrigerator, or whatever else you're going to be buying, they always try to sell you that extended warranty, right? Those sleazy sales guys try to sell you that extended warranty. And in most cases, extended warranties are a waste of money, right? Most of the time you don't actually use those, right? If your solid state TV is working, you know, it works when you get it home, it works for the first 1 year, it's probably not going to fail, right? Electronics these days are pretty durable. Now with juicers, that's a little bit different, right? There's moving parts. But that being said, like, I don't want to try to sell you an extended warranty. I don't want to be that sleazy salesman trying to say, oh, the Hurom only has a 2-year warranty, buy an extended warranty. I want to say the Omega, right? Omega is solid and committed. They know they'll be here around for the next 15 years. They know they're going to support their machine for the next 15 years on the whole entire machine, not just the motor. And Hurom, on the other hand, you know, they're only saying, hey, we're going to let you guys know that if you buy our machine for the next 2 years, you're going to have a trouble-free operation with your juicer. But after that, guess what? You guys are on your own. We may go out of business I don't know if that's going to happen. We may not be around. We may not carry parts anymore because after 2 years, we don't have to service the warranty. We might not even have the parts available. Once again, I don't know if this is going to happen, but it is a possibility. And then after year 2, so year, 2.5, 2 years and 1 day, 3 years, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 15, if a moving part breaks on the juicer, you have to pay for it. And at current prices, let's see, the most common part to break on a machine, based on my experience, auger, that doesn't barely break. Wiping blade, that doesn't barely break. But the screen, this breaks, especially if you drop a fork, a knife, or something else into the machine. You will have to buy a new screen that will not be covered under warranty. Now, if you're juicing wheatgrass or something, and the screen breaks under normal use, Omega is going to cover that screen breakage. Hurom, on the other hand, I'm not sure if their 2-year warranty will cover screen breakage. It should. But after 2 years, if the screen breaks when you're juicing something, you will have to buy it out of your own pocket. And, depending on, I don't know how Hurom's going to price their screen, but Omega and other brands with vertical single auger juicers price their screen at about $70, right? The auger's another $70 or thereabouts, right? And the parts can get expensive. Sometimes, with all the different movements, some of the alignments get off and then the machine doesn't work properly. And then you need to get new parts, right? Actually, this happened to my Omega VSJ, and Omega just sent me the parts to correct it, free of charge. And if I had to pay for those parts, it would have probably costed at least $80, maybe more. So do not underestimate the warranty. Now I know some of you guys like, John, I don't have the extra $100, man. Should I just get the HP by Hurom? I mean, I would really encourage you guys to save up the extra $100 because think about it, man. For years, from actually after the 2nd year after you bought it to the 15th year, that's 13 extra years, you're going to have a warranty with the Omega VSJ. You're going to be guaranteed to be able to juice each and every day for the next 15 years. Then basically, I don't fault Hurom for having a 2-year warranty. I know why they're doing it. It all comes down to dollars and cents for them. They just want to save the juicer, make some money, and after 2 years, they want to say, "Yup, you guys are on your own." It's like kicking your 18-year-old out to the curb and not supporting him anymore and letting him deal with it. And that's cool. I get that. But I want you guys to know, the options out there and let you guys know what I would do if I was buying a juicer. I mean, I would want to get the longer warranty and backed by a company that I know and have confidence will be around for the long haul. All right. Okay, so aside from that, that's some of the biggest differences. Let's go ahead and actually compare the machines side by side to learn the differences. All right. So the first thing is both these machines run at 43 revolutions per minute, 43 RPMs. And actually, they use the same juicing technology to juice. So the motor bases are different. Obviously the Hurom motor base is a lot smaller. I kind of like that actually. But the Omega VSJ base, it's a little bit larger. It kind of sticks up here at the top, and it's a little bit bigger footprint, not that much bigger. And let's see here. Oh, the other thing is that let's turn these guys on because I want you guys to hear this. All right, so we'll turn the VSJ on. So you guys could hear that, it's pretty quiet. You could hear it a little bit, but this is one of the quietest juicers out there. Let's go ahead and turn the Hurom HP juicer on. If you guys hear that, it's definitely louder than the VSJ. Now, is that because it doesn't have an enclosure around the back? Is that because it's brand new and this one's kind of been worn in? Kind of has a squeak to it. I don't know. Have they maybe tightened the tolerances? I'm not sure, but this one's a little bit louder and maybe has a little bit more of an annoying sound to it. But nonetheless, these top parts are fairly similar. So let's get into that. So now let's go ahead and start taking apart the machines and comparing the parts side by side. All right, first to come off is the feed chute assembly. As you guys can see, one's black, one's white. The VSJ comes in a few colors, comes in this silver, white, and a red color. And the HP only comes in white. So if you want to get a different color to match your kitchen, you're going to have to pay a little bit more, but you're also going to get a longer warranty and a few other things that we'll be going over. So yeah, I mean, this is white, this is black. I kind of like the black because it hides the stains much better You know, some of those carrot juice pigments and turmeric pigments tend to stain the white tops. Now it is white on the front side and outside, but underneath it's actually black, so I like that they did this. Now the one thing that I want to point out is the feed chute size. So look at the feed chute on that. This is on the Omega VSJ, nice and large. Look at that on the Hurom HP. Man, that's smaller. Let's see, what percentage smaller, man? Man, I'm about to say that's like at least like 30% smaller. Basically, if we look at the bottom, Hurom has the nice large full-size pole on the bottom, as the same as the VSJ. But on the top, they basically put this extra piece of plastic so that you actually can't even use the full feed chute. I mean, if it was me and I had a Dremel, which I do, I would Dremel this out. Not that I recommend you guys do that, because Hurom designed it like this. And if you modify the machine, it will void your warranty. Besides, you know, buying a Dremel, you can just get the VSJ and get the larger feed chute. So a larger feed chute means less cutting and preparing produce for you. I don't know exactly why they did this. I could only maybe take a wild guess because of maybe in some countries, feed chutes this large are not allowed for safety reasons. In the U.S., they're fine. All right, and this is the U.S. market, so I believe that, you know, if Hurom does sell in the U.S. market, they should cater to the U.S. Customer, right? And the U.S. customer loves convenience. The U.S. customer would love actually a 3-inch wide feed chute, which actually other companies have. All right, next part, let's go ahead, coming out, is the auger. And here's the auger on the Hurom, and here's the auger on the VSJ. All right, so if we look at the augers side by side, you guys can see that they both got the, you know, dual wing and basically a dual blade system with the 2 blades. Many knockoff machines actually only have a single blade on the auger, and it's not as efficient. This actually helps feed the produce in twice as fast. Also on the bottom, they're very similar. They're basically recessed, so actually you can actually get your finger up in there. And don't worry when you're juicing in the VSJ843 or the HP machine. Pulp will collect in the bottom of this, and that is part of the design. You know, when you're done juicing, there will always be pulp, or for the most part, there will always be pulp in the bottom that you'll need to empty out. And this is alright. This is how the machine is supposed to work, so don't freak out. So let's see, we could take this auger from the HP and drop it in the VSJ auger. And that, yeah, drops fine in the Hurom. So the thing is this, like, Omega came out with this machine in 2014, and it was brand new state of the art. Why is Hurom now coming out with the same machine in 2016 as their new model? I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on. Screen and wiping blade assembly. First, we're going to go ahead and show you the wiping blade assembly. So the wiping blade assembly, on both of them actually, they have silicone wiping blades that wipe the screen and wipe the outside of the bowl there. This increases the yield and helps keep the screen clean. Also helps, it keeps things wiped down. So I do like that a lot. Both of them have the silicone blades here on it. And it looks like, I mean, the bowls are a little bit differently shaped, so that's why the actually the silicone blades are a little bit different. And the wiping blade housing is a little bit different. On the Omega, they have these fake plastic ones that don't really do anything. They're just there for looks. And on the Hurom that's deleted, I kind of like this one a little bit more, just because it's a little bit less to clean, less pulp to collect on a part. Now, unlike other juicers, vertical juicers on the market, you'll notice on these wiping blades, they don't have little gears on the bottom. I hate those gears on the bottom, right? That's another extra part to clean. Pulp and juice get stuck in there. They get hard to clean, hard to get out. Both these machines don't have that, so I like it a lot. Next, the juicing screens. The juicing screens, pretty much to me, look identical. Same style, same size holes, basically the same mold they're using. Actually, let's go ahead and try to swap them. So let's see, here's my VSJ screen going in on the Hurom HP, sliding right in there, no problem, and the Hurom HP screen going in on my VSJ, dropping in, no problem. Yeah, so the screens, the wiping blade almost identical, and the auger is identical. Now the bowls, they will not actually fit on each other's machine, so if you do need parts for your HP and Hurom's not available, pretty much, at least for the screen, the auger is going to fit from the VSJ. Alright, next, the bowl assembly. And you know, these are kind of the same but kind of different. I like on the VSJ that the bowl is basically more like a cylindrical, and on the Hurom HP it's a little bit more kind of funnel shaped. You know, bigger at the top, a little bit smaller diameter at the bottom. Let's see here. This one is actually only marked up to 300 milliliters, and on the VSJ it's marked up to 450 milliliters. So that maybe holds more just due to the way it's designed. So because there's more volume at the bottom because of it's a cylinder instead of a funnel shape, it holds more liquid if you want to mix inside the machine. Now actually I do not recommend mixing juice inside the machine because you may be losing yield, and I'm going to have a video on that one of these days. Alright, so let's see here. Other than that, I mean, pretty much the design's the same. It accepts the same screen assembly. They both have a gasket here to prevent leakage on top of the motor base. And on the bottom of the machine, or the bottom of the bowl, they both have this silicone flap. And the job of this silicone flap, it's gray on the VSJ and black on the Hurom HP. Looks like it's a little bit different design on the Hurom HP. They cut off a corner on it, and on the VSJ it's a solid piece. I don't think that really makes a difference because a cut off corner doesn't really do much. But you should always remove this when cleaning, and when juicing it should always be plugged in as much as you could get it. Now both these machines have that stopper if you want to do the mixing in the machine, or if you want to stop it dripping on your counter. This has a black gasket and a white front, and this has a black front and a black gasket. I must say that I kind of like the black front and the black gasket. Looks a bit more classy, you know, than the white to me. So assembly on both these guys are easy. These are the new generation, so basically just stick these down. Some of the old ones you actually had to put in and then click or lock into place. Not on these guys. And let me make sure I got the right new screen and the new assembly and everything. Let's see, this is my from my VSJ. This is my VSJ. Got that in there. So we'll put the screen on the wiping blade, or the wiping blade on the screen, and this goes in, and then you gotta like put it in. Watch how it gets kind of recessed in there. So you can see the screen popping out the bottom, and the screen is a little bit deeper than the wiping blade. And then you put this in, rotate it until it drops down. Same thing on the Hurom HP. Put that in, drop that in there until it drops down. Then we got our blade. I just put the blade in, spin it down, and I try to spin this until it drops down into the little point on the wiping blade that drives the wiping blade. The top of the auger drives the wiping blade, and on other machines there's basically a gear that runs the wiping blade, which I said I didn't like. Also, that gear on the bottom tends to get clogged up with pulp wrapped around it, and gets a nuisance to clean. And that goes right in. And on this machine there's a little arrow on the top of the housing that you need to line up with the arrow here. Line that up, line it up. Once you line it up, that activates the safety switch, so you can turn the machine on. If this machine is not properly assembled, motor turns off. Okay. On the Hurom here, basically, instead of using a magnet system that's clean, no juice pulp, juice bits, or anything is going to get in there, the Hurom HP does a little bit differently. Instead of having a magnet system, actually, they have a little lever system. So this lever has to depress this little lever here. So this goes in, turn it, and this depresses a little lever, which is the safety switch. So personally, I mean, the magnet, a lot smarter than me. I've had juicers like this that have this little lever thing, and like never fails at juice or pulp or whatever gets down in this little lever assembly, and you could never get it clean. So that's kind of a drag. Kind of looks like it's all crudded up. So yeah, I mean, the power on these motors, 150 watts on both of them, 43 RPMs. They share the same auger, share the same screen. The wiping blade's almost similar. The housing's different and the body's different. And you know, it's $100 less, so if you want to get the same performance, go with this one. But if you want to get a company that's going to be around in 30 years or 15 years at least to cover the warranty, a US-based company so you can get parts in the future, you're going to want to go with the Omega. Now the next thing I want to do in this episode, to see if actually it has a similar yield, we're going to go ahead and do a juice-off comparison. And I'm going to juice the same exact items in both machines. So let me go ahead and get my pre-prepared produce and show you guys the weigh-in and share with you guys what I'll be juicing today. And I'll show you guys how long it takes me to juice in both the machines. It should be similar, but the Hurom does have a smaller feed chute, so that may slow me down a little bit. So what I'll be juicing today are one of my favorite fruits to juice in the whole wide world. And what that is are these guys. These guys are known as the cactus fruits. And some of you guys may be familiar with these, but most of you guys are probably not familiar. That's kind of sad. Unfortunately, most stores don't actually just sell cactus fruits. I mean, most stores you could go down and get like apples and oranges and bananas, of course. But cactus fruits can be difficult to get. Like larger grocery stores may have a specialty produce section. They may sell these cactus fruits. And if you can't find them at your standard, regular American style grocery store, you know, be sure to visit a Mexican market or you know, Latin market in your area, or other kind of Asian markets. They may sell the cactus fruits. Those specialty stores have peoples that generally know what cactus fruits are, because most people don't, and that's quite sad. It's one of my favorite fruits in the whole wide world to juice. And I have two different kinds today. I have a green kind, and then have the purple kind, or the red kind. And I'm juicing mostly the green kinds. The green kinds generally tend to be sweeter, so they're going to make your juice taste better. Generally, they're usually a little bit more available than the purples. The purples are a bit harder to find sometimes, but I love the purples just as well. I actually like the purples more than the greens, believe it or not, and the reason why I like these purple guys is because the deep, rich pigments that they contain. So I've already pre-cut the green and a few purple cactus fruits into 2 bowls. And I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and do a close-up on the weigh-in. Omega VSJ side, 53.4 ounces. And over on the Hurom HP side, 53.4 ounces. Looks like we got us a fair fight. So you guys can see we got a fair fight going on. We got equal weights in both these measuring cups ready to juice out. Now all I've done for these cactus fruits in order to juice them, I've cut off the ends on each one. I cut a slit and then I basically peeled off the outer covering. I do not recommend juicing those. I peeled them and then basically I cut each one in half to the best of my ability and put 1/2 on this side, 1/2 on this side. And actually after I was done, they equaled out, so thank God. But yeah, the reason why I like to juice these guys are because if you guys look inside this cactus fruit, I don't know if you guys could see that, they're kind of small. There's these little seeds, and there's like literally hundreds of seeds in each cactus fruit. Now you could just bite into this and eat the seeds, many people do. You know, the seeds are actually quite hard, maybe on the hardness level of a cherry pit. And you know, guys know that cherry pits are quite hard. These seeds are quite hard. So you can't really chew them up like you could chew up a kiwi seed, for example. So these seeds basically end up just swallowing them whole, and then they go right through you. So if you got something like colitis or diverticulitis or something crazy like that, you probably don't want to be swallowing these seeds. Now I do like the red ones because as you guys can see, these red ones have a nice, deep, rich red pigment. This red pigment is rich in things like betalains and different antioxidants that are good for you. There's a lot of research done on the cactus fruit, you know, especially the red color cactus fruit, not talking about the green here, due to their high antioxidant value. You know, they've been shown to be anti-inflammatory and actually have many other health benefits that I would encourage you guys to get by including them in your diet. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get set up to juice, and let's get juicing. So now we're all ready to juice. We got our collection cups, and I like to use a glass Pyrex or Anchor Hocking measuring cup to catch my juice. And then we got a standard plastic containers to catch the pulp. Now both machines come with BPA-free catch containers, and both machines, according to the manufacturers, do not contain BPA, so that's definitely good. Now, before I get into juicing, I want to share with you guys a little bit more about these juicers. These juicers are known as vertical single auger style machines, and at present time, these are my favorite machines on the market. There's many different kinds of juicers on the market, from high-speed centrifugal ejection machines to centrifugal machines that are old school, to twin gear machines, to horizontal single auger machines. And for me personally, I love the vertical single auger juicers because they're, they basically do everything fairly well. They'll do excellent at juicing leafy greens. They will juice wheatgrass and sprouts if they are pre-cut and actually alternated with something like carrots or celery. They'll juice it on their own, but they don't do so well, so if you want to do those, then I'd recommend a horizontal auger if you're going to be juicing a lot or exclusively those guys. These guys do probably the best with juicing fruit of any juicer aside from a press style machine, a hydraulic press style machine. These guys also do very well with the carrots and hard vegetables, or things like beets that you guys may juice. Now both these machines have a 150 watt motor, and on carrots I have found that although the motor is quite powerful, it doesn't quite have enough torque in some situations to snap the carrots to get them to juice. You're going to have to use that reverse button to reverse it and then go forward to get it to continue to juice carrots. Be sure to check the links down below. Hopefully I'll remember to put a video where I actually juice carrots in the VSJ so you guys can see my techniques and how I recommend you guys doing it if you're going to be juicing a lot of carrots. A few carrots here and there, not a problem. I just rotate them in and they seem to generally work pretty good. I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get juicing. We're going to go ahead and juice in the Omega VSJ843 first. Let's go ahead and take these guys back. Go ahead and put a stopwatch out for you guys so you guys can see how long it takes. Going to hit the start button and we're going to get juicing. Now we're just going to go ahead and take one piece of fruit at a time, drop it right in. The cool thing I like about the VSJ and certain vertical single auger machines is that you don't need the pusher. If you are using the pusher in a vertical slow juicer to push produce in, you're using the machine wrong, in my opinion. If you push things in, you could be pushing things in too fast, and then it overloads the juicer, which then consequently means you're going to get extra pulp in your juice, and you're going to get backups in there. So that's why I just like to drop one piece of produce in the machine at a time. Give it a little bit of time to work. As you guys can see, the juice is coming out. We're getting the pulp out of that side. It's working really well to separate out all those hard seeds, which I don't want to be eating, but getting all the delicious juice out. What I'm going to do next for you guys to save some time is we're just going to go ahead and speed this up, and we'll come back at you when I'm all done juicing. Alright, so we're just about done juicing. We've got our last piece of cactus fruit juice. Got a little bit of liquid from the bottom of the container. We're going to go ahead and pour that in there. Drop our last piece in, and that is all the cactus fruit that we had to juice in the Omega VSJ. Now, when you're done juicing the last piece of fruit in any vertical slow juicer, I do recommend you guys give it a couple more minutes to get all the juice out. As you guys can see, I dropped that piece in just a little while ago, and we're still getting juice out. So we're going to go ahead and let that run just a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and check our timer here. Looks like it took us about 3 minutes to juice in the Omega VSJ843 to juice all those cactus fruits. Alright, looks like we're just dribbling out. We're going to go ahead and stop that guy and turn it off. I want to show you guys this pulp. This pulp, look at that. I don't know if you guys could see that. But this pulp right here, this stuff is pretty dry. I could squeeze this. I can't even squeeze out any juice. I mean, it's like mush is coming out of my hand. This machine is super efficient at doing this task, more efficient than any machine I've tested. Actually, I think it's even more efficient than like a hydraulic press when juicing these particular fruits. Alright, so there's the juice made in the Omega VSJ. Next, let's go ahead and juice in the Hurom. This is my first time juicing the Hurom HP, so I'm kind of excited. Alright, we hit start on the stopwatch, and let's go ahead and turn this baby on. Alright, instantly, I tried to put this in. The fruit's a little bit too big for the feed chute because of that little cutout thing. So I just jam it in there, and then it kind of makes a mess and goes in. And we're going to go ahead and juice these guys up one at a time. Definitely a bit more noisy, but let's go ahead and get through this and see what happens. So we'll speed this up for you guys, save you guys some time. Oh, the machine stopped. Reverse it, hit forward. Alright, maybe this machine is not quite as powerful as the Omega VSJ that handled the cactus fruit without any incident. Alright, this is definitely, horrible sound. Alright, I mean, I can't, I could try to sit here, reverse, and go forward all day to try to get all the juice out, but it's, I mean, if it's this jammed up now and I got so much more to do, it's definitely not going to work. Yeah, so we can stop this. It's only been a minute and a half, and that's about half the time. It took me 3 minutes to juice all of them, and I didn't get through any of this stuff in the Hurom HP juicer, and I'm about to stop. This is actually kind of sad. I was really looking forward to making cactus fruit juice in it because it's the same parts, the same design. I mean, it should work. So I don't know what's changed in there so that it doesn't work. I have no idea. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just gonna have to declare the winner of this juice off. The Omega VSJ843. It actually juiced my cactus fruits. Now, yes, I will admit cactus fruits can be difficult to juice. I do not recommend juicing them in any juicer. I know the Omega VRT series definitely does it. I know the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer does it. I know the VSJ does it. And now I know I do not recommend the Hurom HP to juice cactus fruit. If you want to juice other things, it's probably going to work for you. Regular fruits and vegetables. But it doesn't work with cactus fruit based on my testing. I look forward to testing the Hurom HP juicer more in the future to see what it actually does and what it doesn't do. At this point, I could say, you know, I do like it because it basically is the same as this machine. Maybe the motor's not as powerful. I'm not really sure. I don't know why I got stopped up. Kind of sucks. So yeah, if you want to juice cactus fruit, don't get the HP by Hurom. Get the Omega VSJ843. If you want to save $100 and don't care about the warranty, and maybe have a little bit lesser powered machine, get the Hurom HP. If you don't want to mess around with anything, with warranty, with juicing whatever you want, whenever you want, with a company that's in the USA, definitely go for the Omega VSJ843. Alright, final thing I'm going to do for you guys, I want to go ahead and drink some cactus fruit juice, let you guys know how it tastes. That's delicious. One of my favorite juices to date. Now, if you guys enjoyed this episode, I want to encourage you guys to support me and my work by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. This allows me to continue to make these videos and other educational videos that I make on YouTube so that you guys could watch them and learn about juicers and all the other subjects that I teach about online. I want to thank you guys in advance for those of you guys that are going to support me, and I want to thank you guys that have supported me in the past so I can continue to do the work I love. Next, I want to say be sure to click that subscribe button right down below to be notified for my new and upcoming episodes I have coming out about every 5 to 7 days. You never know what juicers I'll be comparing, what juicer unboxing, or other health appliance I'll be sharing with you guys, including dehydrators and blenders. Also be sure to share this video with somebody you think it can help out. Also be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. I have over 450 videos on this YouTube channel demonstrating all the different juicers, comparing one to another head to head, so that you guys could find the right juicer for you. And also be sure to like this video if you guys like this video. If you like the Omega VSJ and, I don't know, like the Hurom HP fail, like it. I'll make more of them. So, once again, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors. Compare two juicers, one of my favorite things to do in the whole wide world, so that I could learn, what juicer is best for certain situations, but more importantly, share with you guys how each juicer performs. I'm lucky enough to have 20 juicers on the shelf. I have any one at my disposal any day of the week, and I use them all so that I